Continuing on, and capitalism and society, integrity and finance is purely a positive outcome. Going over integrity for a person or other human entity, family, group, organization, or society and nation. My name's Lee. Hope you're having a great day. Integrity for a person or other human entity is a matter of that person's entity, word, nothing more, nothing less. In a matter of integrity being whole and complete, etc., it is not too much to say that a person or human entity is their word. That is constituted by their word. It follows that when a person or human entity's word is less than whole, complete, unbroken, sound, in perfect condition, that person as a person or entity, as a human entity, is less than whole, complete, unbroken, sound, in perfect condition. This results in the person or entity as a less workable and therefore with a diminished opportunity for performance. Conversely, it also follows that when a person's or human entity word is whole, complete, unbroken, sound, and in perfect condition, that person as a person that and that entity as a human entity is whole, complete, unbroken, sound, and in perfect condition. This results in the person as a person or human entity as a human entity being fully workable and therefore with a maximum opportunity for performance. The For a person or other human entity to be in integrity, they must satisfy the following conditions. One, the person's or other human entity's word must be whole, complete, unbroken, sound, in perfect condition. Two, for the word of the person or other human entity to be whole, complete, unbroken, sound, in perfect condition, they must keep their word, or when they will not be keeping their word, they must maintain their word as whole, complete, etc., by honoring their word. Integrity. What constitutes one's word? Briefly summarized, a person or human entity words include the following. See Appendix 2, one's word definitions, clarifications for precise and complete definition of what we mean by each of the following six aspects of one's word. Word one, what you said you would do or not do. Word two, what you know to do or not to do. Three, what is expected of you by those with whom you desire workable relationship. That is, their expectations that are in fact unexpressed requests of you, unless you have specifically declined this or that of those expectations. Word number four, what you say is so. Your evidence for what you say is so would satisfy your listener. Word five, what you stand for. Word six, moral, ethical, and legal standards. The social moral standards, the group ethical standards, and the governmental legal standards of right and wrong, good and bad behavior in the society, groups, and state in which one enjoys the benefits of membership are also part of one's word. What one is expected to do unless A, one has explicitly and publicly expressed an intention to not keep or more of these standards, and B, one is willing to bear the costs of refusing to conform to the standards, the rules of the game one is in. Integrity, keeping or honoring one's word. For a person or human entity, keeping your word means you fulfill your word in full and on time. However, if you always fulfill all your word, you are undoubtedly not playing a big enough game in life. For example, as we suggested above, you might give your word to nothing more than you will wake up each morning. While you will only fail at that once, you will certainly be playing a small game in life. For a person or human entity, honoring your word means that you either fulfill your word and on time, or when you have failed or expect to fail to fulfill your word and on time, you honor your word by acknowledging that failure is as soon as you realize it and saying by when you will now keep that word or that you never will keep that word, and cleaning up any mess you created for those who were counting on you to keep your word, fulfill your word, and to do so on time. For a person or other human entity, honoring your word means that you are honest and straightforward. This means nothing is hidden, no deception, no untruths, no violations of contracts or property rights, etc. And as explained above, because your word also includes conforming to the rules of the games you are in, for example, ethical standards of the profession or organization you are in, and the moral standards of society and legal standards of the government entity you are in. If you refuse to play by any of the rules of the game you are in, integrity requires you make this refusal clear to all others and willingly bear the costs of doing so. Gandhi is an example. As we've indicated, all this applies not only to a person, but a human organization such as a university, partnership, corporation as well. As we define integrity, an organization or any other human entity is in integrity when its word is whole and complete. This means it honors its word, both to its employees and to its customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders. Again, this means nothing is hidden, no deception, no untruths, no violation of contracts or property rights. And if the organization or other human entity refuses to play by any of the rules in the game it is in, integrity requires it to make this clear to all others and to willingly bear the costs of not playing by one or more of the rules of the game. G, workability, the bridge between integrity and value creation. The more a person or human entity is out of integrity, the less whole, complete, etc. their word is, the smaller their opportunity for performance. This is a result of the decline in workability. Put simply, and somewhat overstated, without integrity, nothing works. We use this as a heuristic. Put more rigorously, as integrity, whole and complete, declines, workability capable of producing the desired effect or result declines as the workability declines. The opportunity for performance declines, however, one chooses to define performance. Thus, value maximization requires integrity. An example of the foregoing results from applying these principles of integrity at SSRN. The above definitions of integrity, including the three simple aspects of the definition of integrity for objects and systems, have provided enormous power at SSRN, the Social Science Research Network, where one of us, Michael Jensen, the co-author of this paper and integrity officer at SSRN, has used them in bringing about a culture of integrity that has produced major increases in productivity, bringing about increases in the integrity of SSRN staff as individuals, including himself, and in the integrity of SSRN both as an organizational system and as a human entity, enabled increases in productivity of 300% over the first 3 years of SSRN's efforts in this domain. Interestingly, those productivity increases have also been associated with substantial increases in the satisfaction and happiness of SSRN staff. SSRN has also experienced large increases in productivity as ITX, SSRN's outside vendor of web technology services, learned about integrity through its interaction with SSRN and adopted integrity as distinguished in this paper as a major element of its own organizational strategy. It is worth contemplating how it could have been that such huge increases in productivity were lying around without being noticed. Another important example of counter to self-interest behavior that was invisible in the way the world occurred to the relevant parties at both SSRN and ITX. The size of the increases in productivity reported here may tempt some of our readers to dismiss them. However, you should know that SSRN's productivity has continued to increase subsequent to these first 3 years. The veil of invisibility. All right, we'll continue on the veil of invisibility as we go. Like, subscribe, share. Hope you're having a great day. Bye-bye.